Hi, Cookie. What you doing? I know. Hi. Hi, big boy. You taking a little nap? Ventura is resting up from a long night's sleep. He's exhausted. What you doing, baby? He must have been really tired out from his long night's sleep, 'cause he's still laying here. You still tired, honey? Are you still tired? Ventura is still resting. What do you think, Ventura? Should we do a Filofax video? You look so silly. You look so silly. You do. Should we do a Filofax video now? Huh? Oh, your tongue's hanging out the front. Alright, well, I waited a long time for you to wake up, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So I think we'll just do the Filofax video. And you can lay there looking silly. Well, it looks like Ventura will not get up. Now he's under a pillow. So, I will do the second part of the how they're holding up Filofax videos. I have two Portlands. They're my oldest Filofaxes. I thought I got this in about 1985. When I contacted Filofax, they said that the first time it was in a catalog was, I think, in 1990 or 91. But I'm almost positive I had it a few years by then. So this is the one I bought new. I bought it in Bloomingdale's. Is a high-end department store in the United States. They no longer carry them. This is a really nice, this is probably the softest leather binder that I have. Now, something was sitting on it on a shelf, so it has a few dents in it, but I'm thinking they aren't permanent. But I have the flash on, but I'm thinking maybe I should shut it off. Okay, let's see if that's better. Yeah, I think that's a better representation of the leather. The Portlands have coordinating stitching, and it's all intact on the outside. Has a few stains, has a few scuffs, but considering how old this is, I think it's in remarkable shape, and I think that that has to do with the leather quality is pretty amazing. I also still have the snap. I know a lot from that time or just before have lost the popper, but I guess by this point they worked out whatever the problem was. The inside didn't hold up as well. This flipped up and is permanently up. The interesting thing is, this one I got recently as a used binder. This is the Portland Grand. The difference is this has 30 millimeter rings, and this is, I think, 25 or 20, maybe 23. This leather is really nice also, but it's not quite as soft as this one is. I'm not sure if it's just the difference in that occurs in leather, or they made this one a little bit more sturdy because it's so much bigger. They also made this flap, it's an opening down flap, whereas this is an opening up flap. So I haven't had the same problem with that one, with this one. When I bought this, though, it was pretty much unused, whereas this one is in used condition. Even the dents in the rings are more prominent on the brown one. The back, where things went in and out of, has the most wear on the long pocket and also on some of the card slots. And there's none of that on this one. However, I think probably in its life this one just started to be used. So, you know, whether or not it will become as supple as this, I'm not sure. This leather does feel more sturdy. This has always been very soft. This is like just a piece of leather and a fabric backing, whereas this one to me feels stiffer. Like the leather is thicker. Doesn't feel like there's anything in it, but I think they maybe changed the design a little bit and used a heavier leather on the Portland Grand. Not sure, but this is also from the same time period, and you can see it's in really good shape, like the brown one. The rings are perfect in both of them. Very tight. They look different to me than the new rings. I know I've talked about it before. They almost have a chrome like luster. It's hard to say because silver is silver, but these don't even look like they're made up of the same metal to me. And they look and feel, I'm just gonna see if I can, I mean, they're even hard to open after. They look and feel and sound different from the new ones. At the moment, I'm just using this for archiving old pages. They're wonderful, and they'll probably last indefinitely. They're hard to find, though. This one comes up on eBay more than this one, and I got this one through AdSpot, and it took a while. I mean, I looked for this binder for over a year before I found it. So I'm just giving this one a rest, and right now it's pretty much just being used for storage of old pages. I don't really want to use it for inserts. I don't really want to be opening and closing it constantly. I have conditioned the leather over the years with Nivea. It's not a perfect solution because there is some color transfer. I sometimes wonder if it would be better to use a shoe polish on something like this. Another difference is, I just want to point out if you match up the ring mechanisms, the binders, this binder is a little bit bigger. I don't know whether it's to compensate for 30 millimeter rings or not, but it's nice because there's more room in this one for tabs and pens. This pen loop is also a little bit smaller than the one in the Grand. These are the same pens, highlighters in different colors, and this one fits fine in here and will not go in here. The ones on this side are both small, and the pen loops on these are also thicker like the card pockets were. But I mean, if you're looking for a personal and you don't mind, waiting, this is really a great one to have. I was able to fit a lot of stuff in here, a lot more than is in here now, and it has a long enough, strap to accommodate that, because this one is a little bit wider. There's a little bit more room for tabs and pens and things like this on the Grand, but like I said, this was difficult to find. I'm trying to remember how much I paid for this in 1985, and I think it was like around $80 or $85. I could be totally wrong about that. And I just paid $100 for this one, which was really more than I wanted to pay, but I mean, objectively, totally worth it. If you're looking for something for everyday use that you don't want to change binders, and you don't, mind, some of the things that happen with age, which, I mean, quality leather ages in a way that's really appealing. It just looks like it was, well cared for, well loved, well used. It doesn't really look, tatty. So, if you don't mind the limited colors, because there were limited colors then, although I quite like the brown, and since I like the brown a lot, and since I got the black, I've gotten kind of attached to it. Plus, you can add color, in a lot of ways. This was something I got at an estate sale in I didn't buy this. I bought a vintage button box, and this was one of the things. People didn't have a lot of stuff, at other times in the world, and I think button boxes were like the junk drawers, for people. They threw I found crazy stuff, besides jewelry. I found fish hooks and shark's teeth and, things to hold up your stockings, that attach to the garters. I mean, just crazy things. I found crazy things in button boxes. But, I guess my point is you can decorate, your Filofax and make it colorful, or make it calming, or I've started to use a lot of my Instagram photos, because I really like them, and I wasn't really seeing them. So I've started putting a lot of them in my Filofax. So there's a lot of ways to, this is my son on the, I think it's called the Metro, the Paris Metro. So there's a lot of ways to personalize a binder that's, a more subtle color. But I really can't recommend these older ones enough. You have to be patient. You have to find the right one. You have to be willing to weed through, crazy eBay ads that sometimes call them Filofaxes and sometimes call things that aren't Filofaxes, and misstate the size and misstate the name, and you know, I mean, you're talking about people who really don't know anything about planners or are trying to use as many words as they can to get the widest possible view count. You know, it helps to know what you're looking for, and you can always ask for more pictures. That's sometimes really helpful when they don't show, particularly the ring mechanism, you know, because if it looks like this, it's an older one, and that it doesn't show in a lot of listings. So, I mean, if you're willing to wait and if you're willing to search around, I think these just are a terrific bargain, even at $100. I mean, this one was well worth $100. And like I said, they both worn very well in the way that quality leather wears, which is, you know, beautifully. So thank you so much for watching. And this was part 2. I think I'm going to do one on the pink pocket Rio also, because I have that one and I used it quite a lot and it's still in really good shape. So anyway, there's Ginger. Oh, she just looked up and now I'm looking and she turned away. Okay. And Ginger is still here after 11. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the video request, Clara. And like I said, I think there's going to be one more. And if anybody else has any requests, please let me know. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.